Brahma. Brahma is the Hindu god of creation and one of the Hindu trinity, Trimurti. Others are Vishnu and Shiva. Brahma must not be confused with Brahman or Paraman, the supreme cosmic spirit of Hindu philosophy. Brahma is just an agent of Brahman. Brahma is called Prajapati. Praja means human. Pati means owner or head. Thus, Brahma is the owner or head or controller of the human body once it comes into existence. But Brahman is the creator of the human body, and his function ends there. But Brahma continues the functions of creation. According to the Puranas, he is self-born, without mother, on a lotus which grew from the navel of Vishnu at the beginning of the universe and is named Nabija, born from navel. A baby grows or develops in a mother's womb, and the main bridge is the umbilical cord, which is called Nabi. Why Vishnu's Nabi? Vishnu, liver, is the preserver of the human body, and one of its main functions is preserving or maintaining the human fetus in the womb. When a woman conceives, fetal circulation is established in her body for the growth of the fetus. Blood circulation first passes through the liver for removal of toxins before it goes to the heart for further purification. This is one of the main reasons for Vishnu, liver, or Krishna, kidneys, being called as preserver or maternal uncle of the Kumara or child, childhood name for Kartikeya. The embryo gets nourishment from the liver, which refers to Vishnu. Vishnu is the brother of Parvati, who is the mother of Kartikeyan and wife of Shiva. In Indian culture, the maternal uncle, mother's brother, holds an important position in the family, and his duty is to protect the children of his sisters. Nabi is known as Mriganabi or Kasturi. It is a musk deer, Moschus moschiferus, and produces musk. Musk is a dried secretion, testicular extract, from the preputial follicles of the male musk deer. This is found during rutting season, periodical sexual excitement. Vishnu's Nabi may mean the ovary follicles. Can this Moschus moschiferus and its medicinal properties have anything to do with ovaries? Nabi is also known as Adavi Nabi. Its other names are Sukrapushpika, Garbhagidini, Lankalika, Agnishika, and Kaligari. Its botanical name is Gloriosa superba. Is it beneficial to the uterus and related conditions? Sukra or Shukla always refers to female seminal secretion, and Shukracharya is known as the guru of Asuras, who controls the functions of secretion. Garbha refers to the uterus and the fetus in it. Langa or Lanka refers to Lavana, is considered a cytoplasm which is salty. Agni refers to sheep, which in turn refers to the female reproductive system. Agni Mukha, sheep face, is a pictorial depiction of a stage in the female reproductive system, which may be the one before Menarche. Nabi is also known as Vatsanabi and Visha. Its botanical name is Aconitum ferex. Solanum trilobatum is known as Alarka, Nabi Anguri, Tuduvalai, and Uchinta. Is it good for the uterus and related conditions? While the Devas and Asuras were churning the Milky Ocean, we noticed that Uchaisrava, white horse, emerged from it. The Uchaisrava, white horse, refers to the female seminal secretions. Is there any relationship between Uchinta and Uchaisrava? Nabija or Nabija can be split as Na plus Bija or Bija, where Na means blood or liquid and Bija or Bija means seed. A seed is the beginning of all growth, and it contains all nutrients and energy for growth. Is this a reference to the yolk sac of the fertilized human egg? Another legend says that Brahma created himself by first creating water. In this water, he deposited a seed that later became a golden egg. From this golden egg, Brahma the creator was born as Hiranyagarbha. The remaining materials of this golden egg expanded into Brahmananda or the universe. Being born in water, Brahma is also called Ganja. Brahman, the human germ cell, and Brahma, the somatic or body cell, were both created at the zygote level, out of a fusion of germ cells from the male and female. The fertilized egg may mean golden egg in water, which is a reference to the amniotic fluid. It may also mean the water cavity created by the gastrulation process. Vishnu, being the liver and digestive system of human body, takes care of the fetus's growth. All nutrients for the fetus are supplied through the umbilical cord. Thus, Brahma was said to have been born from Vishnu's navel. The whole of the human body, or the fully grown fetus, is considered the universe. Cannabis is also known as ganja in Tamil. Ganja is a variety of cannabis. Ka plus nabi or Ka plus nabi. Cannabis indica and Cannabis sativa are the botanical names known as Vijaya, Siddhapatri, Ganjiga, Banga, and Harshini in Sanskrit. Vijaya and Jaya are companions of Parvati, representing femininity. Siddha refers to the human brain, which controls all hormonal secretions. Kanjan in Tamil means a miserly person who will spend as little as possible to get big returns or reward. Murariya Lagapoids is known as Ranaganja, Presniparni, Adigupta, and Nabi Albon. According to Sushruta, medicine from this plant is given to induce abortions in the 7th month of pregnancy. Pistacia terebinthus is known as Busaganja, Kabuli Mustaki, and Gals. Is it good for the uterus, pregnancy, and related conditions? Brahma's vehicle is the swan, same as that of Saraswati, his wife, goddess of learning. There is no mention of any vehicle for Brahman and his wife, Maya, which indicates the difference between Brahma and Brahman. This divine bird is said to be bestowed with the virtue called Nira Shira Viveka, which is the ability to separate milk and water from a mixture of two. Viveka means intelligence or understanding good and bad correctly and taking decisions righteously. Viveka cannot be construed as the mechanical ability of swan to separate milk and water. We saw this bird in the Himalayas and left it there unattended for some time. Let us return to look at it again. The swan mentioned in Vedic texts is nothing but a human brain that has viveka or intelligence. Cell theory developed in 1839 by Schleiden and Schwann states that all organisms are composed of one or more cells. All cells come from pre-existing cells. All the vital functions of an organism occur within cells. Cells contain hereditary information necessary for regulating cell function and for transmitting information to the next generation of cells. Each cell is self-contained and self-maintaining. It can take in nutrients, convert these nutrients into energy, carry out specialized functions, and reproduce if necessary. The divine qualities of the swan are called Nira Shira Viveka and can be compared to the capabilities of a cell. At this juncture, the swan is also the vehicle of Brahman, who is a germ cell, and their capabilities match. When it is a vehicle of Brahma, agent of Brahman, let us examine its qualities. While the universe, human body, is being created, fertilization, Brahman gave birth to a man called Swayambhu Manu, germ cell, and a woman called Sadarupa, body cell. Brahma comes out of body cell and adopts a position as the brain and the nervous system of the human body, which controls the universe, the entire human body. He becomes an agent of Brahman, who has created germ cell and body cells. Saraswati is associated with the veena, a string musical instrument representing the nervous system of the body, and she becomes the wife of Brahma. The nervous system and the brain are close-knit and inseparable. Thus, Brahma and Saraswati become husband and wife. The brain is floating in cerebrospinal fluid, CSF, which is capable of converting nutrients from blood. Thus, the sacred swan has been brought in and endowed with the ability to separate milk and water from a mixture of the two. Brahma is traditionally depicted with 4 heads and 4 faces and 4 arms. Each head is said to have recited one of the 4 Vedas. He is usually depicted with a white beard to match the eternal nature of his existence. He is shown as having 4 arms, none holding a weapon unlike most other Hindu gods. One of his hands is shown holding a scepter in the form of a spoon, associated with the pouring of holy ghee or oil into sacrificial pyre, indicating that Brahma is the lord of sacrifices. Another of his hands holds a water pot, sometimes depicted as a coconut shell containing water. The significance of the water is that it is the initial, all-encompassing ether in which the first element of creation evolved. Brahma also holds a string of rosary beads that he uses to keep track of time in the universe. He is also shown holding the Vedas and sometimes a lotus. The above description is likely to match both Brahman and Brahma. The term 4 represents the 4 haploid cells which are divided through the meiosis process of germ cell division. It may also represent the 4 chromatids of a chromosome. Normally, ghee or oil is poured to keep the fire burning, and this represents metabolic activity within the cell cycle. The poured ghee or oil may aptly represent secretion of the cerebrospinal fluid, CSF, by the brain cells. This secretion replenishes the fluid required by the human body. The excess cerebrospinal fluid drains into the spinal cord or into blood circulation. This situation is equated to the Ganga falling on the head of Shiva before touching the earth, where Shiva relates to blood. At the time of gastrulation, fluid accumulates in the germ cell and it is referred to as the water pot. The cells also form neatly in a row, which is referred to as a string of rosary beads. There are 2 types of cells, eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Prokaryotic cells are usually singletons. Eukaryotic cells are usually found in multicellular organisms, and human beings are multicellular. Eukaryotic cells contain membrane-bound compartments in which specific metabolic activities take place. Puranas call this yagna. Cell nucleus, a membrane-delineated compartment that houses the eukaryotic cell's DNA, is also present inside the eukaryotic cell. The growth in multicellular organisms, human being, happens through the growth of tissues through the process of cell division. The cell cycle is a series of events in a eukaryotic cell between one cell division and the next. Cell division involves a single cell, mother cell, dividing into 2 daughter cells. Cell divisions is a constant process that takes place in every organism. Brahma, cell, the creator, performs his function constantly in the universe, human body. Eukaryotic cells usually undergo a process of nuclear division called mitosis, followed by a division of the cell called cytokinesis. Firstly, in mitosis, the cell's chromosomes are divided between the 2 daughter cells. Secondly, in cytokinesis, the cell cytoplasm physically divides. A diploid cell may also undergo meiosis to produce haploid cells, usually four. Haploid cells serve as gametes in multicellular organisms, fusing to form new diploid cells on fertilization. Each process occurs in a sequential fashion, and it is impossible to reverse the cycle. There are also four stages of mitosis: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. The four heads of Brahma, Chaturmukha, do not mean the actual number of heads or faces, but Brahma, Chaturmukha, refers to the haploid cell concept, four chromosomes in each cell. The actual work of Brahma is cell growth, otherwise called cell reproduction. During cell reproduction, one cell divides into two daughter cells. Through this doubling process, the cell population achieves exponential growth. This means that each generation of cells will be twice as numerous as the previous generation, but it is not so, because not all cells survive in each generation. Brahma creates only mortals and not immortals, as once done by Shiva when he was asked to do the job of creation. Brahma took back the job of creation from Shiva when he found out that Shiva had created immortals, babies bestowed with germ cells, which can further procreate or create another human being. Here, the creation of mortals refers to the non-survival of cells in each generation. The body cells created by Brahma are incapable of producing another human being, as this immortality can be achieved only by germ cells. Brahma very occasionally interferes in the affairs of other gods. Human organs are considered godly, and each organ is allocated to individual gods in the Vedic texts. That is the reason for having such a large number of gods in Hinduism. Brahma's job is only to create or replicate cells, and he has no control over the relationship between each other in the different organs. Once, Brahma forced the moon god Chandra to give Tara. Tara, wife of sage Brihaspati, was abducted by Chandra back to her husband. Brihaspati is the son of Angirasa, known as planet Jupiter. He resides in Devaloka, and his vehicle is the elephant and white horses. These vehicles are closely related to Indra, hence, Brihaspati must be very closely related to germ cells. He is a guru to the Devas, where Devas refers to genes. There is a saying, Mata, Pita, Guru, Deva. Many believe that this is the list of priorities: mother, father, teacher, God. Why do children today refuse to respect their parents as gods? Is it because they make mistakes? Are those who worshipped as gods today without mistakes? To me, Mata refers to the pineal gland, Pita to the pituitary gland, Guru refers to the process of creating germ cells, and Deva refers to germ cells. In short, secretions from the Mata, pineal gland, and Pita, pituitary gland, activate Guru, Agni, metabolism, to make Deva, genes in germ cells. Daksha, female germ cell, holds a yagna named Brihaspati Tapa. Siva was not invited. Dakshayani attends uninvited and on being insulted commits suicide. This represents puberty or menarche. The story of Tara is as follows. Chandra, the moon god, was born out of the energy generated by sage Atri's tapasya. Herbs were also born out of the remaining energy. Brahma appointed Chandra, moon god, as the lord of seeds, herbs, oceans, etc. This went to his head, and Chandra began to think that he was superior to everyone. Sage Brihaspati, guru to the gods, had a wife called Tara. Chandra abducted Tara. Chandra did not return sage Brihaspati's wife even after repeated request from all the gods. A war was fought over Tara. Shiva and the other gods fought on behalf of sage Brihaspati. Sage Shukracharya, guru to the Asuras, fought for Chandra with an army of Asuras. This war was called Tarakamaya Samgram. Sage Atri had a son known as Anga, who did tapsya to get a powerful son called Veena. Veena's mother was Sunita, daughter of Yamadharma, who is also known as Mrityu, and thus Mrityu was Veena's grandfather. All these relationships establish the relevance of the human heart and blood, since Yama is the personification of human heart. Thus, Chandra must relate to specific blood circulation at the uterus level, namely fetal circulation. Brahma had to finally intervene in the Tarakamaya war and brought about a truce. By that time, Chandra and Tara, sage Brihaspati's wife, had a son called Buddha. Sage Brihaspati refused to accept Buddha. Later, Buddha married Ila, named for creeper plant, and they had a son called Pururava. Ila is considered the umbilical cord. This is the only occasion where Brahma interfered in the affairs of other gods, according to the Vedic texts. When an ovum is fertilized, it is deposited on the walls of the uterus. The fetus develops inside the uterus till it is fully grown and is delivered. Till that happens, nothing can stop the fetus's development. This is known as Tarakamaya. At the time of delivery, the baby comes out along with the umbilical cord. This story of Tarakamaya Samgram is all about the normal bodily functions that takes place in the uterus, ovary, and the hormonal secretions during pregnancy. All the powerful gods and demons, including Shiva, fought the war, but none could win the war. This is a natural phenomenon whose results cannot be altered by anybody, however powerful, is the lesson conveyed through this story. Pregnancy will take its own course and end with the delivery of a baby. Mother's body will return to normal till she conceives again. Tarakamaya Samgram can be split as Ta plus Ra plus Ka plus Ma plus Ya, Sank plus Ra plus Ma, and Ta plus Ra may mean tissue or membrane flow. Ka may mean go. Maya refers to and may mean birth or born. Maya is the wife or energy of Brahma. Swayambhu Manu and Satarupa were born to Brahma and Maya. Maya may also mean big yagna or metabolic activity. Sank or Sanka refers to the uterus. Rama or Rami refers to the branches or chromosomes. Pururava, son of Buddha and Ila, is related to sex determination during fertilization. This is detailed under the chapter Indradyumna and Markandeya, where Purushottam Kshetra is established. Sage Shukracharya, guru to the demons, is a reference to female anatomy. Shukracharya can be written as Sukra plus Acharya. Sukra refers to Shukla and leads to Shukla Paksha, which means brighter fortnight ending on a full moon day. Vedic texts use or adopt the lunar calendar for females and their menstrual cycle. Full moon day is termed the day of ovulation, and new moon day is termed for starting day of menstrual cycle. Shukla and Sukra mean the same. Shukracharya may mean surprise happenings. At the uterus and related female reproductive organs, Acharya means surprise. The main function of the ovary is releasing of the ovum every month regularly, and this is always correlates to the menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is interrupted through the fertilization of the ovum at any time, barring abnormal medical situations. On fertilization, the female egg slowly moves into the uterus and implants itself in the uterine lining. In successful pregnancies, the inner cell mass of the female eggs forms the embryo, while the outer cell layers form the membranes and placenta. The important outcome of this process is that the ovary will not release any more ova till the delivery of the fully grown baby or the ejection or rejection of the fertilized egg for any reason. The ovum will be released only when the uterus resumes its normal condition. The above process of bodily adaptation, especially the formation of membranes and placenta on implantation, has been termed the abduction of Tara and Taraka Maya Samgram by Vedic texts. Buddha, Ila, and Pururava are the results of this physical transformation and adaptation. This Buddha has become the foundation for the birth of Buddhism, just as other gods, organs, are the basis for respective divisions of Hinduism. As only the brain, Brahma, can reset normal body conditions after delivery, Buddha or Buddha came to be known as Siddhartha. Metal silver, argentum, is known as Tara, Rajata, Rupia, Rupa, and Chandi. The silver leaf or powder is used in medicinal preparations. Paspalum sanguinale is a variety of grass also known as Tara, presently used as cattle feed. Its medicinal properties are mostly unknown. Is rupia for silver the reason for naming Indian currency rupees? Brahma is not worshipped widely for the following reason. Once, Vishnu and Brahma approached Shiva and requested that they wanted a darshan of where he began and ended. Shiva gave them permission. Vishnu was appointed to search for the tail end or leg of Shiva, and Brahma elected to search for the beginning or head of Shiva. Each embarked on their journey, but neither could find their anticipated destination. Vishnu, satisfied that the destination could not be found, came to Shiva and accepted his defeat. Brahma, the creator, did not give up so easily. When he was ascending to find Shiva's head, he saw a Kita, Ketaki flower, which is a favorite of Shiva. Brahma's ego urged him to ask the flower to be a false witness to his finding Shiva's beginning. Normally, flowers are worn on the head or hair, and Brahma decided to claim that Ketaki was seen on the head of Shiva. When Brahma told Shiva of his finding, Shiva, all knowing, was angered by Brahma's ego and his false pretext. Shiva thus cursed him that no being, including all human beings in the three worlds, would worship him. Shiva is considered human blood and is always in circulation. Hence, his beginning and ending cannot be determined. Brahma's ego and his non-worship curse were brought in to inform us that no human in this world needs to worry about the cell cycle or cell division in human bodies. Instead, they should concern themselves with the maintenance of other organs of the body that keep them going. Thus, somatic or body cells are not considered a separate part of the human body and thus are not worshipped. Worship and rituals of God refer only to the healthy maintenance of the organs and body. Since Kita, Ketaki flower, was a party to false witness, it was also banned from being used for Shiva's worship, even though he is very fond of it. Its botanical name is Pandanus tectorius or Pandanus fascicularis. The flower is used for aromatic oil extraction, fragrant distillation, and as perfume. It is a stimulant and antispasmodic. The Ketaki flower, is closely associated with Radha Krishna, kidneys in the human body. There is another legend that relates Brahma's non-worship to a curse by the great Brahma Rishi Bhrigu, who was created by Brahma. Once, a great fire sacrifice, yagna, was being organized on earth with Bhrigu as the head priest. It was decided that the greatest among all gods would be made the presiding deity. Bhrigu then set off to find the greatest among the Trinity gods. When he went to Brahma, Brahma was so immersed in the music played by Saraswati, his wife, that he ignored Bhrigu's calls. Angered Bhrigu cursed Brahma that no person on earth would ever invoke him or worship him again. The brain acts and reacts according to their input received through the nervous system, which is the domain of Saraswati, his wife. India today has two temples dedicated to Brahma, as opposed to thousands of temples dedicated to other deities in the Trinity, Shiva and Vishnu. The most famous Brahma temple is at Pushkar in Rajasthan, India. Since Brahma was cursed by Shiva and Bhrigu that he would not be worshipped by devotees for his sins, he went to his father, Vishnu. Vishnu is known as Brahma's father since he was born out of Vishnu's Navi. For redressal, Vishnu and Narayana gave a lotus flower, Tamara, to him and asked Brahma to throw it on the earth and to perform a yagna, sacred fire ritual, for 60,000 years at the place where the lotus flower touched the earth. Brahma was assured that on successful completion of the yagna, a temple would come into existence where people would worship him. Pushkar is the place where the flower is said to have fallen on earth. Thus, the Brahma temple in Pushkar, Rajasthan, came into existence. A plant called Push Karu, Costus speciosus, also known as Kashmira, is a climber found in Bengal and Kashmir. There also exists another plant by the name Pushkar Amula or Padma Pushkara, Iris florentina. Both the plants are known for their stimulant properties, but many of their properties may be unknown. Padma refers to female reproductive systems, and the reference to Vishnu implies that the plant may also be beneficial for the female reproductive system. The mention of 60 years relates to Shashtiyapta Purti, completion of 60 years of a male in marriage, which takes us to the male reproductive systems. Thus, the plant may also be useful for male reproductive systems. The solar calendar of 60-year cycle may refer to the male sperm or seminal fluid and its vitality. Tamara is also a name for the metal, copper, which may be useful for reproductive systems. In the Hindu tradition, most yagnas or rituals are performed along with the wife of the yagna performer to obtain the full benefit of the rituals. Accordingly, Brahma was expecting his wife Saraswati to come and take part in the final phase. But her arrival was delayed. Hence, Brahma created Gayatri, made her his wife, completed his yagna, and obtained the benefit of a temple for his worship. The temple appeared on the banks of the Pushkar during Purnima Tithi in the months of Kartika. Brahma is the presiding deity of this temple, with Gayatri by his side. Saraswati missed the opportunity of being seated with her husband in the temple at Pushkar, and this angered her. Paurnami, full moon day, brighter moon, is a representation of ovulation when the ovum is released from ovary for possible fertilization. Kartikeyan, the son of Shiva Parvati, was said to have been brought up by 6 Kartikai women, known as Kartikai Nakshatras, star cluster. This situation indicates the involvement of the male reproductive system and the nexus between the brain and the reproductive system. Saraswati, being the representative of the nervous system, though not directly involved in the stimulation, may contribute indirectly to the happenings. The fertilized ovum results in birth or boo. Boo or birth is the result of Brahma's presence with Gayatri, Gaya plus Tree. Boo or birth is personified as Buddha. The chieftain of Buddhism who is said to have obtained his enlightenment as Gaya or Bodh Gaya under the Bodhi tree. The Bodhi tree is known as Aswatha, sacred fig, and people tree, is a medicinal plant. Its botanical name is Piscus religiosa, tree or three, a wick used for ignition, may refer to metabolic activities. Tamara, lotus seeds are capable of germination even after a very long period if they are properly preserved. Puranic stories use tamara, lotus, to represent human reproductive organs, more specifically, the ovaries or germ cells which are capable of reproduction. Brahman or Brahma are used interchangeably in most of the Puranic stories. Even though Vedic texts clearly delineate their roles, Brahman refers to the germ cell and Brahma, who is an agent of Brahman, refers to the body cell. The Brahma at Pushkar, first temple, and Khed Brahma, second temple, is in fact Brahman and refers to the germ cell. Brahman at Pushkar must refer to male germ cells. Pushkar is a pond and not a river. Kartikeyan is connected to Kartika, who has been brought up by the Kartikeya women. He is born at a place called Saravana Poigai. Sara plus Vana. Continuous flow at a forest. Fluid flow in a seminiferous tubules. A pond, and it refers to the Sertoli cells where sperm is continuously produced. Kartikeyan is the personification of male sperm. Ovulation is known as Paurnami in Puranic texts, and it happens only in the female anatomy. Everything put together takes Puskara Brahman to the place where male germ cells are produced. This place is also known as Raghu or Rahu in Puranic stories, and the term Raghu Vamsa is born from it. Raghu Vamsa, Kula, refers to the male lineage and Y chromosome. Raghu Vamsa is also known as the Surya Vamsa, Sun dynasty. Ishvaku, Dilipan, Raghu, Bhagirath, and Dasharatha are part of the Sun dynasty, and their names are used to tell us about certain functions of male cell development. Rama is born into this Sun dynasty, or Raghuvamsa, Kula, referring to Y chromosome or genes. I, or head of the spermatozoon, is known as Surya in Puranic stories. Surya, the sun god, also refers to the human eye. Refer chapter on Surya. According to Puranic texts, the color attached to the sun or Surya is copper, tamara, and the gender is male. Another temple for Brahma is situated at Khed Brahma, a city in Sabarkantha district, Gujarat. There is a Sangam, merger, there of three small rivers, Hinakshi, Bimakshi, and Kosambi. They merge into a single river called Harnav, which meets the Sabarmati river. In contrast to Pushkar, this place has rivers and Sangam. Sanka, joining or place of union, refers to the uterus, and it is the tri-junction, Tri-Sankusvarga. Thus, Khed Brahma refers to female reproductive organs, more specifically, the ovaries where the ova are produced. Ketu, the counterpart of Raghu, is attached to this place. Puranic stories refer to the female reproductive areas as Ketumana. These are the two places where germ cells are produced in a human body. Accordingly, Brahman has only two temples of worship. Raghu Ketu. Raghu or Rahu is known as one of the Grahams, planet, and is the head portion of a demon, referred to in the churning of Sagar Manthan. Rahu, the demon snake's head, was severed by Mohini, Vishnu's woman avatar, while it was drinking the Amrit obtained out of the churning. Raghu or Rahu's head alone is called a Deva. as it became immortal after drinking the Amrit. Amrit is considered the membrane barrier or liquids to be filled at Sertoli cells and some other reproductive cells. The spermatozoon's head alone is developed first at Sertoli cells, and the tail is attached later to facilitate its motility. During fertilization, only the sperm head enters the ovum and not the tail portion. The tail, with its energy pack, helps the head or eye to break the wall of the ovum to enter it. Once the head has made its entry, the tail has no purpose, and it will disengage from the head. Removal of the tail portion during fertilization was imagined as cutting the head by Mohini while Raghu was drinking Amrit. Amrit is an immortal drink, and fertilization creates new life, and life continuity is not lost. Amrit and Devas are closely associated, where the Devas are chromosomes of germ cells. Ketu or Ketu is the companion of Rahu, being the tail portion of the demon, whose head is Raghu or Rahu. Ketu is referred to as a shadow planet. It is believed to have a tremendous impact on human lives and the whole of creation. Ketu is considered as the tail portion of the spermatozoon, which helps to propel it, while the head or eye of the spermatozoon is Rahu. Under special circumstances, Ketu helps someone achieve the zenith of fame. Ketu is depicted with a germ or star on his head, which signifies a mystery light. Behind the head of a sperm, beginning of the tail, there lies a stack of mitochondria. Sperm's energy. This helps the sperm propel forward. A comet is known as Dhumaketu or Thumaketu in the Tamil language. Comet is a bright star with a tail which orbits the sun. There is a general belief that something bad will happen if a comet appears and disappears into the sky. The sperm head, Raghu or Rahu, or eye of the sperm, Surya, is produced at the Sertoli cell and is without tail. Such a sperm lacks motility and is infertile. Later, the tail is added, and the sperm is stored as a full piece before being ejaculated during intercourse. Thus, the sperm travels through the long tube from the testicles before ejaculation. This may be regarded as the orbit of a comet. Suppose the sperm head does not contain or sheds its tail for any reason before or at the time of ejaculation. It becomes impossible for the sperm to swim into the vaginal uterus passage to reach the ovum. In such cases, it is a bad omen because it is incapable of fertilizing the ovum. Hindus do not like to venture out during Rahu Kalam, duration or period of Rahu, due to its inauspicious timing. It is the Rahu, head alone, who should not move out, and it is inauspicious because it is infertile without Ketu, the tail. Sperm cannot swim into the vaginal passage to reach the fallopian tubes through the uterus without the tail. The very purpose of its going out is defeated, hence the belief that Rahu Kalam is inauspicious. Puranic stories refer to the 9 Grahams and Jyotisha in many places. Many directly translate Grahams as planets and Jyotisha as astrology. Planets and astrology are modern terminology which may or may not have relevance to astronomy, but have no basis in Puranic stories where Grahams relate to ancient medicinal knowledge. Planets are moving objects in the solar system, and the Grahams must also be moving objects inside the human body, capable of traveling from place to place. And hence, Grahams were mistaken for astronomical planets. Rahu and Ketu, the head and tail of a sperm, is a moving object within the human body, which is considered a universe. Jyotisha is not astrology. just because grahams are called planets. Jyotisha is a kind of clinical procedure or diagnostic prediction based on the functions of various organs of the human body, which are termed grahams. This has nothing to do with the astronomical planets and their alignments. The word graha can be found in grahastha, which means the householder face. It can also be seen in garbha graha, uterus, a house of fetus. Sanctum sanctorum of a temple is called garbhagraha, house of the deity. Thus, graha must mean home, house, or mana or mane, veedu or place. Hence, all 9 grahams, navagrahas, are the products which makes a house or complete a household. In a human body, these grahams are the products which make or create a fetus and complete the household in the garbhagraha, uterus. Many consider astrology fraudulent because it uses graham as planets. Grahas in the Vedic texts and Puranic are relevant only for the purpose of Jyotisha, diagnosis, and not for astrology. What is Jyotisha? Jyotisha is Jyoti plus Sha, where Jyoti refers to Makara, the spinal cord, and Isha or Sha refers to Sankha or Ishvara. Procreative organs or activities in males and females. The procreative organs are triggered by the nerves of spinal cord according to the positions or functions of the grahas, organs of the human body. Astronomically, Rahu and Ketu denote the 2 points of intersection of the paths of the sun, Surya, and the moon, Chandra. When the sun and the moon are at one of these points, an eclipse occurs. This incident is mythically considered as Rahu, the demon snake, swallowing the sun and releasing it. There is nothing mythical about it. It is conveying instead the correct concept of anatomical behavior. The uterus or the fallopian tubes are the meeting point for the sperm and the ovum for possible fertilization. These eclipses are brought in to explain a certain process within the function of fertilization. First, we have to understand the eclipse. There are 2 kinds of eclipse: solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. During a solar eclipse, the moon comes in between the sun and earth, whereby the visibility of the sun from the earth is affected. The moon will be dark since the sun rays will fall on the other, dark side of the moon, which is not visible from the earth. The sun rays falling on earth are blocked by the moon. Thus, the earth's atmosphere tends to be darker with less light. How does this situation play a role in fertilization? By this time, we all know that new moon day, dark day, is also known as the day of menstruation according to Puranic texts. Fertilization cannot take place on this day. Fertilization can only take place or happen on a full moon day, bright day, which is known as the day of ovulation in Puranic texts. Let us consider fertilization in a solar eclipse. In a solar eclipse, the sun is shadowed. Sperm is known as Surya or sun in Puranic texts. Thus, the sperm is shadowed or blocked. This shadowing is known as the Rahu, sperm head, the snake swallowing the sun. There are 2 possible results of this happening. First, the sperm, Surya, is blocked in meeting the ovum. Female is equal to Chandra or moon, and thereby fertilization is thwarted. During menstruation, which is known as Amavasya, dark day, fertilization will not take place as there is no ovulation. This may be known as a total solar eclipse. The second possibility may be called a partial solar eclipse. During ovulation, full moon day, bright day, the sun or Surya Sperm is not fully blocked, thus, fertilization may take place. On fertilization, the male chromosomes and female chromosomes merge to make the child's chromosomes. Males have XY chromosomes and females have XX chromosomes. The child's chromosomes will consist of one chromosome, X or Y, from father, male, and another chromosome, X or X, from the mother, female. Since the sun or Surya is shadowed or blocked by the moon, it means that Y portion of male chromosome, which is known as Surya, is also blocked. As a result, X portion of male chromosome will merge with the X portion of female chromosome and make a baby with XX chromosomes, a female baby. Sun or Surya represents male and the Y portion of the male chromosome. Thus, Rahu has eaten the sun or Surya, the Y portion of the male chromosome. During a lunar eclipse, the earth comes between the sun and moon. The sun can be seen brightly from the earth. The moon goes behind the earth and the sun rays do not fall on the moon since they are blocked by earth. Earth's atmosphere will not be darker, but it will be brighter with sunlight. The moon will not be totally darker since sun rays will be reflected on it from the earth, and its color will appear copper because of an optical illusion. Let us consider fertilization under the lunar eclipse. This can happen on a full moon day, bright day, known as the day of ovulation in Puranic text. In a lunar eclipse, the moon is in shadow. Male chromosomes and female chromosomes merge to make a child's chromosomes. Since the sun or Surya is bright and is not shadowed or blocked by moon, it means that the Y portion of male chromosome is very active. Since the moon is shadowed, the X portion of male chromosome is removed from the arena. Thus, the Y portion of the male chromosome will merge with the X portion of the female chromosome and make a baby with XY chromosomes, a male baby. This shadowing is known as the Surya or Rahu spermid, the snake swallowing the moon, referring to the X portion of the male chromosome being swallowed. The gender of the sun is male, and the color of the sun is copper. Copper is known as tamara. The gender of the moon is said to be male, but it should be female, and the color of the moon is white, which is known as shukla. There is a fish called rahu, or rohi, or rohu, labia rohu, which is understood to increase sexual vitality. It is also known as rohita, lobio rohita, rui much, and eramino. It is said that some derivatives of the fish check vayu, gas or wind.